Good morning. Today is February 24th. It's the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And last week, I was asked to speak to our Ukrainian campus leaders, staff leaders, about leadership development. And it was an incredibly humbling time. We have campus, just to let you know, we have 140 Ukrainian national staff. 120 of those are still serving within Ukraine, and was asked to speak to him about leadership development. And particularly, we're asking, how do we develop leaders in a time of crisis and war? And yeah, I have very little to offer on that one. But Suzanne and I, over the last 3 years, have had the privilege of interacting with a lot of our Ukrainian staff at different times, and just wanted to relate to you a little bit of what their reality is. They are heroes to us because they have been faithful in really proclaiming God's word and proclaiming the gospel over the for decades, but over the last 3 years in particular. And they do it in the face of incredible hardship. They only have electricity 4 or 5 hours a day. One of the staff was telling me she's got a family. She's like, yeah, we live on the 14th floor in our apartment, so I just have to time when I leave my house to go get groceries so that we'll have electricity when I get back so I can take the elevator up 14 floors with the groceries. And, and then we have to figure out the water thing because water pressure without electricity doesn't reach beyond the 7th floor. Others are telling me, they said, yeah, my child's 5. He really has no memory of not ever having to go almost daily to a bomb shelter. And he has no memory of pre-bombing and pre-war. And the incredible trauma they're going through. Several of them have family members, parents that live in the occupied territory. Russia occupies now 20% of Ukrainian territory. And all those living there have had their Ukrainian passports and citizenship stripped away, and they're now forcibly Russian citizens. So they even have to be careful how they communicate to their parents because things are monitored. And if they say anything via social media or anything, it can affect their parents and the persecution their parents face from the Russian authorities. So despite all those hardships, and all of them, by the way, know somebody, have a family member or a friend, or in the case of our campus staff, they all have students they've worked with who've been killed in the war. Several of our staff are actually fighting in the front lines, 5 or 6 of them, I think. Despite that, they continue just to share the gospel and look for creative ways to share the gospel. They obviously traditional campus ministry, traditional other types of ministry, but also doing a lot of food aid, especially to people who've lost homes or had their homes partially destroyed with the bombings and stuff. They've come in with food aid and a lot of different things that they're doing. And just want to invite you, particularly today with the anniversary of the invasion, just to continue to pray for them, to continue to pray. They are seeing an incredible harvest going on there. God is doing something in Ukraine. Continue to pray, pray for peace, and pray for their well-being, pray for their emotional health and the trauma they're going through and their children, and pray for God to continue with the harvest. Thanks.